Alistair MacDonald begins discussing Frankie Smith rearranging her housing officer's appointment from Wednesday to Friday. Housing officer agrees with it.
Upshot of all of this, housing officer never did see Star.
I don't believe I saw her either.
Look what happens. On September the 7th, you sent a text saying, "Sorry, I'm busy today. I can do tomorrow if that's okay." In other words, putting it off.
Yes.
Discussion of changing the date to Friday from Wednesday again, which the housing officer accepted. September the 11th, meeting scheduled for the 12th. Frankie Smith had to cancel again because she had been throwing up all night.
I believe I had been sick.
You were putting it off again.
It did get cancelled, yes.
September the 14th.
Seem to have been very ill at this point. Sorry, only just seen your missed call. Me and Star have a sickness bug. Did you have another sickness bug?
No, this is when Savannah Brockhill brung Star back and said she'd been sick.
It's when Savannah Brockhill had brought Star back. It's the very same day when she was bruised.
Yes.
And you didn't want the housing officer seeing Star, did you?
I didn't mean it in that way.
So you didn't have a sickness bug, did you?
Star had a sickness bug.
Did Star have a sickness bug?
I believe Star had a sickness bug, yes.
September the 18th.
Housing officer. Hi Frankie, when are you free?
Yes.
Appointment for the Tuesday.
Yes.
Hi, can we do Friday morning? Putting it off again, when a meeting had been organised for the Tuesday.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me know about today, Friday, 10:30 a.m, okay? From housing officer.
Yes.
And of course, by that Friday, Star had died.
Yes.
They were trying to see Star from the beginning of September, but they never saw her.
It wasn't for them to see Star, it was to see me.
They never saw you.
No.
Report made by social services by grandfather of Star regarding these concerns. Records indicate Frankie Smith made an appointment about Star falling on cobbled floor and cutting her lip. You never even called 111, did you?
I'm not sure.
PC Palmer and social care conducted a social visit. Mother not present. It is stated she was in Scotland. Do you remember them phoning you? Did you tell them you were going to Scotland that day?
Yes.
Savannah Brockhill phone cell sighted and used in Doncaster. So was yours.
I stayed with Savannah Brockhill overnight in Scotland, then went the next day.
You didn't go to Scotland, did you?
No, not that day, but I believe I told them I went to Scotland.
September the 4th, unannounced visit. Saw bruising, but Frankie Smith's account was accepted. September the 11th we move to now.
This is the time when Savannah Brockhill took Star to the recycling plant for 2 or 3 days.
Yes.
You know she arrived on September the 11th. Afternoon, you carried Star down the stairs to Savannah Brockhill and handed her over. Was she alright at this point?
She was fine.
Did she have anything wrong with her top lip?
I think she had already cut her lip by this point.
The position is this. A Dacia Duster was entering the plant site very late on, it's 11:30, isn't it?
Yes.
The position is this. She then exited the plant site, then there was a FaceTime call.
Picture of Star in a striped top laying on someone with swelling on the upper lip.
How had she got that?
I think it was already cut at this point.
Did you see Star in the course of that FaceTime call?
That on the screen?
No, the FaceTime call which was after this photo.
I don't know.
Did you see Star in the course of that?
I could have done, I can't remember.
If you'd seen any injuries to Star, would you have noticed them, do you think?
Yes, I would have done.
7:01 p.m, 3 minutes, 47 seconds. FaceTime call after Duster entered the plant. September the 12th, 9:35 a.m. Savannah Brookhill's phone. What happens when you can't breathe? How long does it take to be traumatized? Emotional and physiological trauma. 10:29 a.m, 55 minutes, 45 seconds. FaceTime call with Frankie Smith started by Savannah Brockhill.
Do you know why Savannah Brockhill was making those searches?
No, I don't know why.
Did you see your daughter in the FaceTime call of 55 minutes after those searches had taken place?
Yes, it was a long time, so I could have seen her.
Wouldn't you have wanted to see her?
Yes.
By this time, Savannah Brockhill was searching for what would happen if you can't breathe.
I didn't know she'd searched them.
Did you see any damage to your daughter in that FaceTime call?
No.
Do you remember what you were talking about for 55 minutes?
I don't remember.
Other searches. Squashing the eyes. What happens when the body goes into shock? 8 minutes later, 1 hour, 10 minutes, 30 seconds FaceTime call.
Do you know why Savannah Brockhill was searching for those terms?
No, I don't know.
Do you agree there was a FaceTime call for 1 hour, 10 minutes and 30 seconds just following those searches?
Yes.
Did you see your daughter in the course of that call?
Yes, I believe I did.
What were you talking about?
I don't know.
Was Savannah Brockhill not telling you about Star and about her not being able to breathe and so on?
No, she never said that to me.
But you did get some photos on your phone.
Yes.
Because we see those. What are they all about? Star in a striped top with a mark on her top lip.
I'm not sure what the picture is.
Do you know what they're about?
No.
7:11 p.m. September the 12th. A picture of Savannah Brockhill holding Star in striped top, a mark on her right cheek and substance on her lips.
Yes.
Then we get some more FaceTime calls, don't we?
Yes.
Did you see your daughter in those in the daylight hours?
Yes, could have done because it was a long time.
Has she said anything about Star being injured or hurt in any way?
I don't know if it was this day, but I know this weekend she did fall in the car. She went to go reach for her baby dinner.
We'll come to that. You're saying that was this period.
I think so.
You got a photo of the 12 packet with the mark on the left side of her chin, then a series of messages between you. Have you had hold of her fingers because they look swollen? So you had some photos of her injuries by that point.
Of the 12 packet?
You were out at this point, weren't you?
Yes.
You were suspicious her fingers had been damaged, weren't you?
Yes.
You didn't really get any response, did you, from Savannah Brockhill?
She said it was just how the photo was.
Google searches for bloodshot eyes and glaucoma.
Do you know why these searches were made?
She had red eyes when she came home, but I don't know why these searches were made.
More FaceTime calls. Frankie Smith asks, "How's Star? Have we been on all night?"
Why did she do it?
A lot of the time she'll do it so she knew I wasn't with nobody.
Keeping tabs on you?
Yes.
Switches now to Frankie Smith saying, "We just don't get on, do we?" She accepts her and Savannah Brockhill must have argued big time.
What did she say to you?
I don't believe she did say anything about the swollen fingers.
You asked how's Star and you got no answer for 11 minutes, so you went question marks. And then you were sent an image of Star with her head on a pillow with marks around both her nostrils.
Yes.
Then Savannah Brockhill says, "I love you." Savannah Brockhill gets Dog out of the car and you say, "What's Star doing?" And you didn't get a response for that because you put a question mark when you waited for some time. Then there's an image on your phone with Star sat in her nappy with something in her hand with marks. That's on your phone. Did that come from Savannah Brockhill?
Yes, it must have done.
Weren't you starting to get worried at that time? Where had the marks come from?
I don't know.
Were you bothered?
Yes, I was bothered.
Talking about video of Star eating chocolate and the conversation between Frankie Smith and Savannah Brockhill.
Again, you say, "What's Star doing?" Then we have videos. You say, "Show me Star." And what did Savannah Brockhill say? "Oh, piss off." Didn't you start to get really worried by this point?
Yes, I thought it was strange.
Didn't this bring back memories of July when Star was brought back with bruises?
Not at that point, no.
More back and forth swearing in Texas.
Was it getting really quite heated by then?
Yes.
Then we have these videos. What is it about them that caused you not to watch them?
What was going on?
What was going on?
The way Savannah Brockhill was hurting Star.
Frankie Smith gets tearful.
I couldn't answer you properly, but that was fast movements.
Did she seem to be hitting Star repeatedly?
Yes.
Video sent after this of Star lifting her leg up and down.
I think that is the car. I think you can see the seat in the car.
It's at work anyways.
Yes, it's at work.
You agree it shows scratches to the arms and both legs?
Yes.
FaceTime call then started.
Did you see Star in the course of that?
I'm not sure if I saw Star in that.
More videos appear.
I believe in this FaceTime, Savannah Brockhill was showing me what we'd just seen.
Did they cause you real concern?
A little bit,
What do you mean a little bit?
because Savannah Brockhill said Star was nipping herself.
Strange calls between Frankie Smith and Savannah Brockhill. Savannah Brockhill questioning it's ridiculous for a child to act how Star allegedly was.
You say you have a video in your interviews that there's a video of Star throwing herself down in Asda.
Yes.
We've not seen that. Savannah Brockhill said she didn't have footage of Star throwing herself about. Have you got any videos of Star pinching herself, throwing herself about?
Not pinching herself.
Then she said something had to be done. Then there are more videos, aren't there?
Yes.
Then more videos, then a FaceTime call. After prosecution suggests Savannah Brockhill's been assaulting Star, do you see Star in the calls of that FaceTime call?
I don't know if I did.
Were you getting more and more worried at this stage?
Yes, I was suspicious.
And what did you do about it?
Not at this point, no.
Nothing. despite your concern?
Yes, because Savannah Brockhill said she was doing it herself.
Did you know Savannah Brookhill was searching for what happens when you're winded, etc.?
No.
Did you think you saw Star after these Google searches?
I think I had seen her in one of them.
Did she have a bruise on her face?
I don't know where the bruises were.
Try again. Did she have a bruise on her face when you saw her at that point?
I don't know, she had a lot of bruises.
What did you mean, after this I wanted nothing more to do with you, nothing?
We were arguing at this point about Star.
Why did you write it?
That was when Savannah Brookhill returned.
Because she'd injured Star, you knew that.
I didn't know it, but I was suspicious.
There were further FaceTime calls, then an 11-hour 37 minutes on overnight. Another one of these overnight calls. Did you see Star in the calls of that?
I could have done, but I believe I was asleep for most of that.
Did you know Savannah Brookhill was searching for sickening after blunt trauma and head trauma?
No.
She says the reason she looked for those terms because you've been out that night and that you got in, and that when you got in, you fell over and banged your head. Is that true?
I don't remember doing that, no.
Video footage from your flat has been looked at that night. At this time, we're talking about the period overnight, the night of September the 13th. Now, you had been out the night before because you arrived back at your flat at 12:43 p.m. the morning of September the 13th. You was in your flat until 3:15 p.m. when you went to the bins. And you went out of the car park and you returned and you came back with a bag of shopping. And you went out to the bins again after 7 p.m. Then you remained in your flat all night. The CCTV tells us you were in your flat all night, so you didn't go out.
An unintelligible answer.
Talking about the text sent where Frankie Smith questions the ridiculous marks on Star.
Weren't you horrified?
Yes.
I'm not blaming you.
Yes.
What did you mean I'm not blaming you, by the way? I'm just asking.
I did say that.
Were you more bothered about your relationship than you were about looking after Star? That's the truth, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
This is on September the 15th. Frankie Smith asking why Savannah Brookhill always told people about how naughty Star was, then wanted Savannah Brookhill to stay away because Star's fingers were all bruised.
Think it's best if you stay away. She said, whatever, Frankie. You were talking about her fingers being bruised and damaged, weren't you? Injured in the photos.
Yes.
All Savannah Brookhill was saying was, it just shows she was never treated as mine. Wrapped up in herself, isn't she?
Yes.
Star needs my attention, all my attention. Now she says, F my life. Now you're really spitting out the jokes. Now let's see what attention you gave this little girl.
September the 16th, video of Star against the wall, screaming.
Was that the sort of attention you was meaning to give Star?
No.
Another video.
Was that the sort of attention you had in mind?
No.
Didn't you think she needed your care and love as a mother? What had she done to deserve being put against the wall like that?
I can't remember what she had done at this point.
What you were doing there was looking out for yourself. You made a search for how much is it to get an injunction when you've been a victim of domestic abuse. Was that in respect of you being hurt by Savannah Brookhill?
Yes.
Well, what about Star? What about Star? Didn't you realize when Savannah Brookhill took Star away, obviously she came back bruised and damaged?
I was suspicious, yes.
And you say, as we've seen, that it's over between you and Savannah Brookhill in various texts.
Indeed, yes.
Then let's see what happens. On the same day you have Star against the wall, September the 17th. She's back in touch. She's behaving. Kiss.
Yes.
Look what you say. She's in the corner. Kiss. She's got 5 minutes left.
Yes.
These early ones, she's in the corner. This time she's in the corner on the next day. How long has she been in the corner?
She hadn't been in the corner long, I was just saying that.
Talking about Star apparently throwing a toy car at Frankie Smith as to why she was at the corner.
At this stage it was likely she had got a fractured skull. The tibia had been fractured once and maybe twice, and she had those rib injuries. Did you not realize she was very distressed?
Yes.
But you were putting her against the wall.
That's why she was crying, because she was against the wall.
Clearly it's over for us, isn't it? You were saying. Is that right?
Yes.
But what you were doing, it wasn't over, was it, between you and Savannah Brookhill?
At this point, we'd fallen out.
But it wasn't done, was it? But despite what she had done to your daughter, despite all the suspicions you had, you took up with her again, didn't you?
Yes.
What on earth was you doing, having anything more to do with this woman as you suspected, as you tell us, had injured your daughter?
At this point, it wasn't easy to walk away.
It was all for your own pleasure. If Star had got injured on the way, it didn't matter.
No, that's not true.
September the 18th, when the Allen ticket was ripped up.
Actually heartbroken. I know you are. From Savannah Brockhill. Sad now. The most emotional message you ever sent was you were heartbroken. Not what Savannah Brockhill had done to Star, but your ticket was ripped. You were more bothered about that than what had happened to your baby daughter.
No.
The whole thing starts again. You ask Savannah Brockhill if you can go to the Toby Carvery. Even though you suspected Savannah Brockhill had damaged your child, it's all started again. It just shows how up and down this all was. What we see is these awful messages, brat, very, very nasty, naughty child, and so forth. So you've made up. She's saying all these terrible things about your daughter.
Yes.
No one will ever last with you. F you, etc.
Yes.
F off, Frankie, just do that for yourself. My family said stop mixing with the lower class. I genuinely should have listened. After all those things you thought she'd done to your daughter and all those things she said, what did you do? Are you having Star on Friday or not?
Yes.
After all the things she's done, are you having Star on Friday or not? You were going to put your child in unsupervised so you could do out and do what? Go drinking again?
Probably.
Okay, well, Becky will have her. Why on earth were you even thinking about Savannah Brockhill having Star again? If you were concerned, she was the last person I would suggest.
Yes, you're right.
If you loved your daughter.
I do love her, but that was wrong of me.
It was wrong and we know what happened. But why did you do that? Because you were more bothered about going out drinking than you were about the welfare of your daughter.
It wasn't that way, no. But if she did have her, I believe I'd have gone out, yes.
You were prepared to put her into harm's way for your own benefit.
No.
Well, you tell us why you were inviting Savannah Brockhill to have your daughter on the Friday, so you could go out drinking.
That's what it would have been for, yes, to go out.
Yes, I know, I appreciate that. Why were you prepared to put your daughter, indeed not just prepared to, why were you positively asking Savannah Brockhill to have Star on the Friday so you could go out drinking, when you suspected what she had done to her if you loved your daughter?
I can't answer that, I don't know why.
You became even more worried about Star because on September the 21st, the day before she was killed, it follows on in fact, Savannah Brockhill telling you that you were nothing but trouble, pouring yourself up and down the pubs.
Mentioning when Savannah Brockhill and Frankie Smith interact about Star's leg again, where Savannah Brockhill said she's petting. Messages about Star screaming when Frankie Smith touched her leg.
Why didn't you take her to the doctors? Why didn't you take her to the A&E? Screaming when she touched her leg?
She cried, yes.
No, let's call a spade a spade. Screaming when you touched her leg.
I think I was being a bit dramatic there, but she did cry when I touched her leg.
Let's go along with what you're saying. Crying when you touched her leg. I suggest screaming.
No, I think I was being a bit dramatic. She did cry a lot.
Was it the anguished cryings we've heard on the films?
Very upset, yes.
And what did you think that meant?
I thought there was something wrong with her.
Why did you think she was crying so much?
Because it was hurting.
There's not a record, is there, of you even lifting? You had your phone because you were on it all the time. In fact, you were on the phone when you were even putting this message out. You had battery in it. There's not a record of you ringing up the doctor.
No.
Not ringing 111.
No.
Not taking her to the doctor.
No.
You can't have loved your daughter, can you?
I do love my daughter.
September the 22nd, Savannah Brockhill in touch asking what Frankie Smith is doing. Frankie Smith said, sorting this child out. This is in the afternoon, 2:04 p.m. Alistair McDonald now going back as he missed something out that is very important for us to go through. The time Frankie Smith was in Bradford City Centre before September the 22nd.
On September the 21st, you were saying Star was crying an awful lot when you touched her leg.
Yes.
Time in Bradford City Centre was the day before that, September the 20th, yes?
Yes.
Do you agree those images of you and Star are truly terrible in the city centre?
Yes, they look awful, yes.
Video of Frankie Smith in the city centre with Star looks to be dragging her.
You can't even see her head, can you?
No, she was throwing her head back.
In the calls of this footage, she never walks properly, does she?
No, she didn't walk.
You were dragging her by the reins, weren't you?
I was lifting her up, yes.
Do you see how you're dragging her feet along the pavement?
Yes.
Was it not blindingly obvious to you your daughter was in awful pain?
No, I thought she was paddying.
Paddying?
Having a tantrum because she was walking.
You tell us when you say she's having a tantrum, will you please, and what signs there are of it.
Now, the whole way through.
Now.
Yes.
What tells you she's having a tantrum?
Throwing herself.
Throwing herself? Do you mean that?
Yes, I do. Back then, I didn't know she had a poorly ankle.
Well, you say that. You might think looking at that, if you weren't there, that she's not even conscious. She looks just like a body, doesn't she? With her head lollying, flopping.
Yes.
Do you see how with her head falling forward as if she's got no control over it? That's her throwing herself about, is it?
Yes, my mum thought the same thing.
Different angle of the video of Star being seemingly dragged by the rings now.
See how she fell over? Look how you're just dragging her along the pavement with her legs behind her. Didn't it appear she was in the most appalling pain?
I didn't know she was in pain.
You didn't?
No.
Moving to interviews now, where Frankie Smith explains her relationship with Star. Interview 1, Frankie Smith saying Star was her whole world.
She was your whole world.
Yes, she is.
But there you were dragging her through Bradford city centre.
It looks like that, but it wasn't intended like that.
She was a happy little thing. Do you think she was a happy little thing in Bradford city centre?
Not in that video, no.
Do you think she was a happy little thing against the wall?
No.
Do you think she was a happy little thing coming home bruised?
No.
So why did you say she was a happy little thing?
Because most of the time she was.
Or were you trying to spin a lie to police?
I wasn't trying to spin anything.
She'd never leave my side. That was a lie, wasn't it?
At the time, she wouldn't.
But Holly was saying she'd call her mum.
I don't believe that's true.
Tantrum started at 1. How did you deal with that behaviour? Frankie Smith answers police that she let her get away with things. Couldn't tell Star off. Let her get away with murder.
Well, that's wrong, isn't it?
Yes, I had told her off.
And you were lying to the police about it.
Yes, in a way, that looks like lies.
Because that is lies, isn't it?
I did let her get away with lot.
Why did you tell police a lie?
I didn't realise that I did. I wouldn't have told it as a lie at that time.
Talking about using the corner as a discipline technique, and Frankie Smith again telling Alistair McDonald that Savannah Brockhill started that. Star would sometimes go to the wall herself because it happened so often.
It did happen a lot, yes.
Sometimes I would do it in a little jolly voice.
Sometimes I did it like that.
In all the videos of her at the wall, where do we see Star laughing?
Not in those videos, no.
Do you remember the video of Star falling up the stairs in obvious discomfort? Do you remember your tone of voice?
I was trying to be firm in my voice.
That wasn't a jolly voice, was it? It was more like a dog you were wanting to discipline, wasn't it?
No, not like a dog.
You went, hey, didn't you?
Yes.
These pages are full of comments from Savannah Brockhill saying how you should treat Star.
I'm not saying sometimes, should say you're the mother.
Did she ever discipline her? She stood her against the wall. She's very loving of children. She's had them all her life.
Yes.
When she was calling her a very, very nasty child or a brat, that wasn't a sign of loving.
At this moment in time, that wasn't in my mind. I wasn't bothered by Savannah Brockhill at this point.
So why did you lie?
I think when I was talking about Savannah Brockhill, I was trying to get through it fast because I didn't want to speak about her.
Did she ever chastise Star? No, never. Well, she did, didn't she?
Yes.
Have you ever done anything to hurt Star? Never. I'd never lay a finger on her. Did you ever see Savannah Brockhill hurt her? No. You didn't even take your own child on most of the time, would you?
Yes, people would babysit.
I knew no matter what, fall out with anybody, we was always together. Was that about Star as well?
Yes.
Can we just understand? It goes back to a point we were talking about this. You say Star suffered an injury on the gear stick.
Yes.
You say a number of things about that over the course of the interviews.
I'm not sure what I said in these interviews.
Interview 6.
Did Star appear to be frightened of Savannah Brockhill?
A little bit, yes.
Did you think that was a worrying thing that a little girl of 16 months was frightened of your partner?
Yes, I thought it was the voice, firmer than mine.
When did you first realise Star was frightened of Savannah Brockhill?
I couldn't tell you exact dates.
Was it when she was walking? When she was 1? When she was starting to develop?
Yes.
Your daughter on September the 22nd woke up albeit injured. Is that right? As a little girl of 16 months, and by the end of that afternoon, she was laying on a hospital trolley, dead.
Yes.
It was really important for the police to understand what happened to Star.
Yes.
It was important for all sorts of people, for all sorts of reasons, to understand what had happened to Star.
Yes.
You tell us you have nothing to hide.
I've not done anything.
As we understand your evidence, you haven't done anything to injure Star.
Never.
Not one of these bruises over the 16 months of her life you caused non-accidentally.
No.
You had absolutely nothing to hide.
No.
Of course, when police were asking you questions, you wanted to tell the truth, didn't you?
At the time, my head was everywhere. I don't remember these interviews.
You never said at any point, did you, that you didn't understand the questions, did you?
I'm not sure.
Your solicitor was there to help you.
Yes.
You knew if you needed help, you just had to ask.
Yes.
Are we to understand that what you said in the course of these interviews was you doing your best to be truthful to police?
No, obviously I wasn't doing my best.
Do you mean you told lies to the police?
Not lies apart from that one.
What one?
About who was in the room on that day.